It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been by. Okay, we'll do that again. That's a good start.
Welcome to my world, Paul.
I haven't even had my first beer yet, and as soon as I get
My
off you, I'm
gosh.
having my first beer. Right, here we go. Take two. It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by the Ice Road trucker, Todd Dewey. Todd, how are you, sir?
Good morning, Paul. I'm doing great. Wonderful on this nice, crisp, cold morning here in the mountains in Washington State.
Well, how have you been? Where have you been? Because 2024, you came over, you did some Truckfest. We got to hang out. It was nice to meet you. And then you disappeared.
Yeah, I've been doing Truckfest for a long time over there, it's really grown on me. It started way back when me and Lisa Kelly just came over when the show was really going strong and really airing. Bob had us come over for Truckfest and meet and greet all the fans, and sign autographs and take pictures. And Truckfest really grew on me personally. I became the one of the hosts of the show, and I got to keep coming back every year just to be the host of the show. I wasn't coming back as a celebrity guest or anybody special. I was doing Truckfest because I loved Truckfest and became a part of my life. And it was like my Truckfest to me is like a big giant family to me.
Yeah.
Coming over there and seeing all my friends and getting together with everybody and getting out in the arena and entertaining everybody, and you're surrounded by trucks, which is my life, because I love trucks. So Truckfest really became a part of me, and this last year some things have come up and I got super, super busy. Life, generally life, getting busy. Imagine that. And something that we haven't discussed yet was something in my past came back, and I had an opportunity to go do something, which we're going to discuss here in a minute. And I got so freaking busy that I really didn't have any time to come over and do Truckfest this year. I've been just jam-packed schedule. Wasn't able to fly over, do some Truckfest. So I'm really, really hoping and looking forward to maybe this next year coming back over and joining Truckfest.
So obviously the elephant in the room that we're going to talk about is the new series of Ice Road Truckers is back. Before I start to ask you all of those questions, what is your life like now? How much of it is like what we would call normal average work, and how much of it is media work, if that makes kind of sense?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. Yeah. So, that's what I was just talking about, being so super busy this year. That's one of the main reasons is, I work a full-time job at home. I drive truck. I'm a heavy haul specialist. So I haul heavy, massive, over-dimensional, oversized loads all over Washington, Oregon, clear down to New Mexico, Texas. I am all over the place, and I am a busy, busy guy on the road. Gone away from home quite a bit. And then we threw in the mix of all of a sudden the History Channel calls up and says, we really want to make a new season of Ice Road Truckers. We heard that they're looking for some good drivers up north. Do you think you still got what it takes to go back up there and do the ice? And that hit me hard, Paul. It was like, oh my gosh, it was like 8 years. We had 8-year hiatus of being off of the ice roads and just being home with my family, which was good. Don't get me wrong. It was nice because all my daughters were graduating high school back to back starting in 2017. It was nice to be home with them, all their graduation, getting their life started, to get them all moved on. They're all moved out of the house now for the first time in 25 years. Me and the wife are empty nesters, and it's been amazing. At the same time, sad because I miss all my girls being at home, but for the first time ever. So when they called up and they're like, hey, and then we had Muskie Creek. I had a company from up north called Muskie Creek, and they called and they were like, hey, we are having a massive shortage of drivers, because you don't just pick up someone who drives truck and put them out on the ice. You got to have they're looking for experienced people who really know how to handle all the weather conditions, the ice roads, that type of stuff. And they said, hey, do you still think you got what it takes, Todd, to go up and do the ice roads? We need some drivers and we need you up here. What do you think? And it was just like, it hit me with a flood of emotions like nobody's business, right? So I had to have that conversation with the wife. Let's discuss this. She's like, are you sure you want to go back up now that we've got new grandbabies in our life? My daughters have given me 3 grandbabies over the last 8 years. And are you sure you want to do this? And she knew by looking at me with that look in my eye, there was no way I was turning it down. It was like, I'm going. It's been 8 years. I can't stand it. I got to go. I got to get up there and see if I still got what it takes to do these ice roads. So I was hit with all these emotions and packed my bags. All of a sudden I was gone for 2.5, almost 3 months up north filming a new season of Ice Road Truckers. And I can't let anything out of the bag, Paul, but I tell you what, right when you think that you've done it all and you've seen it all and you've put your body and your physical emotions through everything you can possibly handle, something jumps up and bites you in the ass every single time. And I tell you what, for all the seasons we've filmed, I can honestly say this is one of the most craziest seasons I think I've ever had up there in the ice roads. It was unbelievable. I'm talking from oversized loads flipping over to losing trailers to, I mean, stuff happened up there, Paul, that it's going to blow your mind when you get to see the season. I give me goosebumps sitting here talking about it. It was an amazing adventure. And I honestly, at certain points in time up there, stuck way up north in the middle of nowhere by myself, freaking broke down in a situation. I was thinking, I didn't know if I was going to get out of it or not, be able to get out of there. I mean, it was pretty hairy stuff up there this year, Paul. I ain't kidding you.
So I know you obviously we as same as all men do. We obviously have to check with the wife before we make any life decisions.
Oh yeah.
But when they first asked you, what was your gut instinct? It's been 8 years. You have to ask yourself, can I still do it? Have I still got it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you could see the gray hair that set in. I mean, from the last time I filmed to now, I've turned all gray. I've obviously got a lot older, and that was one of the key factors. Like, I'm not a young buck anymore. I'm getting old. To go up there and withstand, anywhere from -40 to -7 degree temperatures, have to be outside on endless hours doing stuff and unloading and loading and fixing your truck or trying to get unstuck. When you hit with all that stuff at one time, your mind is just like blown. You're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm able to do this or not. But the excitement, I'll tell you, Paul, what it really comes down to is you get those flood of emotions, all the negative stuff that that's going to happen on the ice roads or you're going to have to deal with. But at the same time, you also get those flood of emotions of what it's like to fight Mother Nature like that for weeks at a time on one road trying to get a load of supplies into the community. And when you get to that destination and all those families and all those little kids come out and they bring you hot plates of food in the middle of hot caribou and some moose that they've just freshly got, and it's all cooked and they bring it to you and they're like, it's like Christmas time to them when you're bringing them their stuff. I mean, it's that important. And they're just like, thank you so much for bringing us our supplies. We made you some hot food, and those little kids come up and they give you a hug. It's just like, dude, it makes everything that you put your body through, it just makes it worthwhile. It's just an amazing feeling.
Well, you mentioned then that you've had, again, because I know this has happened in the past, and obviously we're going to see it all in the new season. You've had some very, very scary moments. I think the question that I hear a lot is, obviously we know that there is a camera crew, there is a TV crew. How many people are there with you, and are they trained in any way to help you?
That's something you always think about. You know what? Over the years of filming, when we were up there doing that, I can't tell you how many camera guys would go on one trip with us. And when they got back, they were packing their bags and going home and saying, we are done. We are not going back up there. We're not doing this again. That was insane. We're done. I'm serious. So then, and the hard part about it is you get used to that producer sitting in your seat. Like, you kind of get to know him. I mean, you're living with him in the truck. He sleeps in the back bunk with you in the truck. I mean, he's with you 24/7. So you get to know him, and you kind of get a little thing going on. And then all of a sudden he gets back and he's like, dude, I can't do this anymore. That's too much. It's too cold. I can't handle it. It's insane not knowing if we're going to make it back or not. So then they give you a new producer and you got to start all over again with some new guy in the seat, and then trying to get to know him. That always makes it difficult. But for some reason this year, things were a little bit different. The crews that we had, I had that in my mind that it was going to be really hard dealing with the camera crews again, but they were amazing. These guys were as tough as nails. I don't know where they got them from or where they picked up these camera crews at, but I'd be outside for like 3-4 hours. About every half hour you tap your nose to see, you'll flick it. And if it sounds like a piece of steel, frostbite's getting ready to set in because you're frozen stiff. And when I do that, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my camera crew. And I start looking around and there they are, bundled up, cameras rolling. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's fussing. I was like, holy crap, these guys are freaking dedicated this year. And you didn't even know they were there. Usually they get to the point to where they bug you so much when you're really involved in trying to fix something. And you got two guys standing over your shoulder. Hey, what's going on? You're just like, can you guys leave me alone for a second? I got to get this going. You guys don't understand the situation here. These guys were so professional, you didn't even know they were there. It was amazing. So that aspect is wonderful. So what they do is they have a chase car vehicle that has all the plug-in supplies because they need to be able to recharge their batteries. They need to carry lots and lots of survival gear if we need it. Food, water, stuff like that. And we bring lots of gas cans filled with fuel to keep their SUV running on the ice roads because there's no 7-Eleven. There ain't no McDonald's. There ain't no nothing to stop by. So if you don't take everything with you, you're just asking for trouble out there. So They were really good this year. Usually every team up there has, there's at least three camera ops that are with each driver, two in the SUV and one that lives in the truck with you, and they're out there risking their lives just as much as we are, because they go out on the ice with us. I mean, you're rolling out on the ice at a certain weight level. You know that you're right at maximum weight. You don't really know how thick the ice is, because you can't test every single lake hole or ocean crossing, whatever you're going to come to. You can't test them all. So you're going out not really knowing, and then you got the SUV coming out with you because they got to stay with you and stay following you, and that's just added more weight to the ice. So people don't know that those camera guys risk their lives just as much as we do out there delivering those loads. So they're actually pretty amazing people.
It's pretty amazing, and like you say, I think the same with, listen, there are truck drivers who just do normal 9 to 5 truck driving, and that's absolutely fine. And there are people that work in the TV industry and they do their normal 9 to 5 and they do their shows, and that's absolutely fine. I just think it takes a certain type of person. I think if you get a truck driver like yourself who likes to go and do these extreme things, you will get people that work behind cameras, that are producers, that are sound guys, that want to get involved in the extreme things as well. And I think, if you can match those two people up, then obviously then you're in for a good time. I got to ask you, after all this time, do you still get nervous before a big haul, or is it all just another day in the office?
What do you mean a big hole? Like going on the ice?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Paul. Yeah, that's part of the job. But for us drivers that are up there, see, that's where we're a little bit different from other people, is where people will see that and get really scared and turn and get feared of rolling out on the ice when they hear that cracking and they can feel it move and you can see the big lightning bolts crock across the ice.
Yeah.
That fear for me is like, it gets my adrenaline pumping. It's like it's weird sickness, Paul. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if it's because I'm half retarded, or I shouldn't use that word. I don't know if it's because I'm absolutely stupid. I don't know if it's because I'm crazy, but I like that feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. This is freaking amazing. And it's every emotion you have in your body all floods you at once when you get on that ice. And it just pumps me up. It doesn't matter how tired. I could have been driving for 18 hours and have a big giant ice crossing, and I got more energy going across that ice. I don't know where I get it from, but it is. You still get nervous every time, because I mean, there's a lot of times I'll look at the camera guy and look at him and I'll be like, did you feel that? Did you hear that crack? Because it's like, holy crap. It sounds like if you got your door open and your window down, and that initial weight hits on there and a big lightning bolt just cracks out and spreads out across the lake. It sounds like a lightning storm that's right over your head, the cracks when it's popping. And it's amazing. I ain't kidding you. And that does make a guy a little bit nervous once in a while.
Well, I can also imagine, because obviously, other than the rumble of the truck, it's pretty silent out there.
Yeah, you would think it's silent out there, the rumble of the truck, but that ice talks, buddy. And here's the funny part: a lot of people think, "Oh my gosh, listen to the cracking and popping." That's what you want to hear. You want to hear that. You want to hear that ice talking to you, and that ice is not talking to you when it's not cracking and popping and moving the way that it's supposed to, and those big loud sounds. That's when you better start thinking, should I even be on this lake right now? This is not good. You want that cracking and that popping. You want that ice talking to you all the way for hours, all the way across that lake. It's like you're having a conversation with the ice. And I mean, you got to keep. And if it gets silent, you better really start worrying. And that's no joke. Yeah.
Do you know
when
what?
it gets quiet?
I'm nervous sitting here talking to you. Never mind actually doing
When it gets quiet, you better start thinking about maybe shifting position on the ice and start getting some noise coming back to you, because you might be in a really bad, dangerous situation. Absolutely.
Let me tell you, I thought the toll roads on the M6 were bad, but they're not as bad as that. Moving away from the work, and I know that you mentioned this earlier, obviously, how long were you actually away for filming this?
Just over 2 months this year. We were gone 2 months. We had a really short season, and that's another good question. And we could go on for hours talking about this. I mean, Mother Nature's really taken a pretty serious a change, especially with the climate. With climate change in the world, and what that's doing is you're getting every year on those ice roads. You're getting it's not lasting as long as it should.
Yeah.
It's melting sooner.
Yeah.
And when that happens, just because, listen, the ice roads are getting shorter, but that doesn't mean those communities up north aren't growing a little bit and getting bigger. And their demand for supplies isn't getting more and more every single year. So then you get more loads that are required to go to the communities in a short period of time. So you can imagine how hard that we go up there and we push. I mean, when you get the ice roads up there, what's the best way to explain this? There's no weigh stations. There's no weigh cops. There's no OCP parked on the side of the road waiting to write you a ticket because you've been driving for 24 hours straight. There's none of that. So when you go up there and you hit those ice roads, you are pushing as hard and as fast as you can, trying to get every load in that community, especially when you know how important it is, Paul, to get those loads in. So we really, really, really do push probably way too hard, but we know we've only got a very short window, a couple months to get all those supplies in the community, and that is the most important thing in the world.
Well, when the pressure's on like that, I could imagine that the preparation for your journey is just as important as the journey, you know, making sure, A, that the truck is roadworthy, making sure that you've got everything you need, doing all of your final checks. I'd imagine they're just as important as the journey itself.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. You know, and there's so many different aspects that go into that is not only making sure that you hopefully have every part and piece that you can mechanically take with you and shove in your truck for any type of breakdowns, airlines, air fittings, you know, hoses, radiator hoses, all your fluids, all that type of stuff is packed in your truck just in case of, you know, if you have a breakdown, you could try to get yourself back going again. But the problem is sometimes you do have breakdowns that you can't get back going again. Something mechanically internally inside the motor goes wrong or something like that. Now, fortunately, you know, we do have technology nowadays. This is the first time ever that we had it up on the ice roads filming this time because, you know, technology has advanced so much. We actually, in the chase car vehicles, that they provided us with a Starlink. Have you ever heard of Starlink?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And they make them for, you know, vehicles now, so you can plug them into your vehicle. So we had an emergency lifeline for emergency contact, which all the truckers up there do. It's not just us as filming because they're filming and they have you know, a lifeline now. No, all the truckers up there that risk their lives and do the same job that we do every single year have this Starlink in their stuff now. So if they have a breakdown, you can get a text message out. You can get, you know, a phone call out over the Wi-Fi signal, which is just an absolute blessing. So instead of being stranded for maybe a week and a half, or however how long before one trucker comes along and you can jump in with him and, you know, get to safety. Now you can get, you know, maybe 2-3 days, you can get some help up there where you're stranded and get your truck fixed and hopefully get back rolling again. But, you know, a lot of guys think that, well, why don't you just, if you're not too far from the community, maybe you can leave your truck and walk to the community. This is funny. You don't ever get out of your truck and leave because up there in the wild north like that, you know that there's wolf packs up there, and you know they hunt caribou, and you know they hunt moose, and they eat anything they can. So if you get out of your truck and you're thinking, well, I think it's only like, you know, 5-6 miles to the community. I could just walk to the community. I'll get something, you know, find a warm building, or, you know, phone somebody or get some help coming. That's about the worst decision you can make, because once you get out of that truck and a wolf pack gets on your scent, there's most likely you're not going to make it to the community. So there's all sorts of things like that out there. It's so freaking crazy, Paul. It's freaking exciting. That's why I love being up there, buddy. I'm not going to lie to you. All that type of stuff you're flooded with is like, this is so freaking awesome.
Okay, here you go then. Here's the $64,000 question. What's the one piece of advice you would give to a rookie before they start even thinking about doing this?
My main piece of advice, and that's funny because I've told a lot of truckers this same thing, is I would love anybody to go up and see if they got what it takes to be on the ice roads. And I think the main skill that someone needs to make sure and take with them is knowing your truck. Knowing what it takes to fix your truck mechanically and work on it, whether it's a driveline, U-joint, airlines, electrical, wiring, all that type of stuff that goes with your truck. If you have a really good mechanical background and you're able to fix your truck, then obviously if you have that much knowledge on working on a truck, you probably could drive a truck pretty good. Then that's your best chance, because once you get up there in the far north and you break down and you're sitting there, that's when your life is really going to start depending on if you just knew how to fix something or do something. So if you're mechanically inclined and you know how to work on a truck, then you definitely got a chance on the ice roads. Oh, and make sure you go driving around a little bit in the ice before you go up there. Find somewhere where it's snowing a little bit of ice covered roads, and get your load on there and drive around, and, you know, slam your brakes on, get your truck to sliding, see if you can get it figured out and straightened out, you know, get some experience. Don't just jump up there and jump on the roads, because I tell you what, it's definitely an adventure, buddy.
Obviously, as we both know, that being out on the road for a long time can get a little bit lonely. That's why we've got HGV1 radio. It can be such a huge part of a trucker's life, and we like to think that, you know, we are your friend in the cab. Do you have a go-to song, a go-to artist that when you're driving along, someone that's always going to pick you up?
Yeah, I just like music in general. I love country western music, but I also love, like your old school rock and roll, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. I like a little bit of upbeat stuff to get rocking. Up there in the north, now this year, like I was explaining to you earlier, this year we actually had Starlink. Now, it wasn't in our trucks, but it was in a chase car vehicle. So at nighttime, after you were done, midnight, 11 o'clock at night, we'd get pulled over in a big wide spot in the middle of the ice roads and jump up the aisle to the truck and get out your cold frozen food off the headache rack and try to thaw it out in the heater a little bit and make yourself a sandwich or whatever you're going to eat, right? And then crank up the tunes a little bit in there. But for the most part, all those years prior, you're so far up north, Paul, we didn't have anything. There was no radio. There was no GPS. There was no nothing. You had nothing to listen to except your phone, whatever playlist you had down on your down phone. You could plug it into your stereo and your truck and play your playlist. And that was all we had. So this year we were a little bit spoiled in the evening times where we could actually stop. I had a few conversations with my wife for the first time ever, actually parking up there in the middle of, I'm talking like 3 miles from Santa Claus from the North Pole. I actually parked on the side of the road and got on my phone and had a video chat with my wife and my kids and my grandkids at home, which is amazing. And then be able to, tell them, hold on a second, guys, hold on. Let me put my coat on. And go outside and then angle the phone just right and just see all the northern purple and green lights and show them the beautiful what we were looking at up there. And they're like, oh my gosh, that is the most amazing. It was so amazing being able to share my experience with my family of what we were seeing and going through up there once in a while. So it was pretty amazing.
That's a really, really important point because, again, talking about, a lonely life as a trucker, with technology, that is a great thing now that you.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. It was so amazing being able to call home once in a while and show them what we were doing or going through. It was pretty awesome.
One final question about this. I know that you've kind of critiqued Liam Neeson's film, which was, let's not go into it, but it was a similar film, not maybe the best film that Liam Neeson has ever made. But if there was one celebrity that you could take out on the road with you, who would it be?
I think it would be Liam Neeson, just to say, okay, no, this isn't Hollywood. Here's the truck. Here's the gears. Here's the lake. Let's get going. See that great big hill over there that's got 3 feet of snow on it? You're going to make it to the top of that frickin' hill one way or another, driving this truck and say, okay, now this is what Real Big Road Ice Road Trucker's about. That I would definitely take him.
Now, we mentioned Truckfest right at the start of our chat. 2026, are you filming? Is there anything in the pipeline for you?
Yes, we are, I can't give an exact yes or no what's going on yet for next season, but we will see after this show finishes airing now. The new season's out currently right now. And it's going to air till the end of November, I think will be the final episode. And come January again this next year, we'll definitely be looking at filming a new season and going back up on the ice roads and getting these communities what they need again. So I'm super, super stoked about having a second chance up on the ice roads again. And hopefully I did. Oh yeah, after you're gonna have to watch the show, Paul, because we'll have to wait to see if they did. The trucking company I went to work for says, "Hey, this is the guy we need to keep, or this is the guy we need to get rid of." He didn't have it anymore, or he did have what it takes. So I'm not gonna give.
I've got faith in you.
I know. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers, but no. So we should be going back up again north, and then I'm really, really hoping next year to get back at Truckfest.
Yeah.
When the big show in Lincoln opens up, the big, the massive show. I'm really hoping I get a call this year and say, hey, you got time what it takes to come on over. And you never know. Maybe me and Lisa will be coming over together again this year, Paul.
Well, you got a lot of fans here in the UK that would love to come and see you, especially at Truckfest. So, Todd, thank you so much for talking to us. We really do appreciate it. Here in the UK, we can't wait for the new season of Ice Road Truckers to start, and we look forward to watching to it. And hopefully, like I say, look forward to seeing you in 2026. Thank you so much for talking to me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, Paul. You're wonderful. You take care, buddy.